Have you ever considered the benefits of having no friends? It may sound counterintuitive in a society that places high value on social connections, but let's explore this idea through the lens of Stoicism. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded in Athens, focuses on self-reliance and inner strength. It teaches us to find peace within ourselves, rather than relying on external factors. By embracing Stoic principles, we can learn to appreciate solitude and understand its profound benefits. In today's society, there is immense pressure to be sociable and maintain numerous friendships. The fear of being alone often drives people to seek constant social interaction. We're led to believe that having many friends is essential for happiness and success. However, this societal expectation can make solitude seem undesirable, even frightening. The constant pursuit of external validation through friendships can lead to stress, anxiety, and a loss of self-identity. But what if solitude could be seen as an opportunity rather than a deficiency? Solitude offers a unique chance for self-discovery, independence, and personal growth. When we spend time alone, we have the space to reflect on our thoughts, feelings, and goals without the influence of others. This can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our true desires. Let's take a closer look at how solitude can benefit us. 1. Self-discovery. Solitude provides the perfect environment for introspection. Without the distractions of social interactions, we can focus on our inner world. We can explore our passions, strengths, and weaknesses. This self-awareness is crucial for personal growth and development. 2. Independence. Being alone teaches us to rely on ourselves. We learn to solve problems, make decisions, and cope with challenges without seeking external validation or support. This independence is empowering and builds resilience. 3. Personal growth. Solitude allows us to pursue our interests and hobbies without the need for approval from others. Whether it's reading, writing, painting, or meditating, engaging in activities we love can lead to personal fulfillment and growth. 4. Emotional regulation. Spending time alone can help us regulate our emotions. We can process our feelings and thoughts without external interference, leading to better emotional stability and mental health. The key moment of realization comes when we understand that being alone doesn't equate to loneliness. Instead, it can bring a sense of inner peace and contentment. Embracing solitude allows us to focus on our own growth and happiness, free from the need for external validation. It's an empowering feeling to know that we can be content and fulfilled without relying on others for our sense of self-worth. In summary, embracing solitude has numerous benefits. It aligns perfectly with the Stoic perspective on the value of self-sufficiency. Solitude isn't about isolation, it's about finding strength and contentment within ourselves. By focusing on self-discovery, independence, personal growth, and emotional regulation, we can lead a more fulfilling and authentic life. Reflect on your own relationship with solitude and Stoicism. How do you feel about spending time alone? Have you experienced the benefits of solitude in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe to Stoic Glance for more content, and let's continue this journey of self-improvement together. Understanding true friendship. Let's talk about true friendship, the real deal, not just superficial connections. According to Stoic philosophy, true friendship is the holy grail of relationship. It's not just about hanging out or having fun. It's about something deeper and more soulful. True friendships are built on virtues like trust, honesty, and loyalty. These relationships are like having someone in your corner who's got your back no matter what. Someone who always keeps it real with you. Imagine you have a friend who's always there for you. Last year, you went through a tough time. Maybe you lost a job or had a rough breakup. This friend didn't just disappear or give you half-hearted advice. They were there, checking in on you, offering support and just listening without judgment. They showed honesty by telling you hard truths when you needed to hear them, even if it wasn't what you wanted to hear at the time. Genuine friendships aren't one-sided. It's not about what you can get out of it. It's about what you can give. That means being there for your friends when they need you, even if it's not always convenient. Remember when your friend had to move to a new apartment? You were there, helping pack boxes and carry furniture, even though you had other plans. It's about showing up, being present, and being a true ride or die. True friendship is like a rare gem in a sea of fake vibes and shallow connections. It's about finding those people who see the real you and love you for it, flaws and all. If you've got even just one friend like that, consider yourself lucky because that's the kind of friendship Stoic philosophy is all about. If you found this video insightful so far, let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment below about your own experiences with true friendship. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic-inspired content. Your support means a lot. The value of having no friends. Now, let's flip the script and talk about the value of having no friends. Stoic philosophy has some real talk about solitude, and it's not as scary as it sounds. Picture this. You're chilling on your own. No squad, no crew, just you. According to the Stoics, that's not necessarily a bad. In fact, they were all about embracing solitude and being cool with flying solo. Why? Because it gives you the space to really get to know yourself, to figure out what makes you tick without all the noise and distractions. Imagine you've always been part of a group, always surrounded by people, but then, for whatever reason, you find yourself alone. At first, it feels weird and maybe a bit lonely, but over time, you start to see the benefit. You discover hobbies you never knew you liked, like painting or hiking. You start journaling and realize it's a great way to clear your mind. You have more time to think about your goals and what you want out of life. You become more self-aware and start to understand your own needs and desires better. Solitude isn't just about being alone, it's about being self-sufficient. It's like being your own best friend. You learn to rely on yourself, to trust your own judgment, and to find happiness from within. And that's a pretty powerful thing. Solitude is also a chance for serious personal growth and reflection. When you're on your own, you have the freedom to explore your thoughts, dig deep, and ask yourself the big questions. It's like having a one-on-one with your own soul, and that's where the real magic happens. So next time you find yourself flying solo, don't sweat it, embrace it. According to the Stoics, being your own best friend might just be the coolest thing you can do. Weird connections. Dealing with unhealthy friendship. Now let's talk about those weird connections, the friendships that leave you feeling more drained than fulfilled. We've all been there, right? Whether it's that friend who's always bringing drama or that buddy who's constantly putting you down, unhealthy friendships can seriously mess with your vibe. Stoic philosophy has got our backs when it comes to dealing with these toxic relationships. Picture this. You're stuck in a weird friendship that's just not serving you anymore. Maybe it's bringing you down or holding you back from being your best self. Whatever the case, Stoicism offers strategies for recognizing and ending these toxic connections. Imagine you have a friend who constantly criticizes your choices and makes you feel small. Every time you hang out with them, you leave feeling drained and doubting yourself. A key Stoic principle here is self-awareness. Take a step back and objectively look at how this friendship affects you. Are you growing and flourishing, or are you shrinking and losing confidence? Once you recognize the negative impact, it's time to set some boundaries. Have a calm and honest conversation with your friend. Let them know how their behavior affects you. For example, you might say, "I value our friendship, but I need to set some boundaries. When you criticize my choices, it really brings me down. I need to surround myself with positivity and support." If the friend respects your boundaries and makes an effort to change, great. If not, it might be time to distance yourself. This isn't about being mean or cold. It's about prioritizing your well-being and personal growth. Remember, as Stoic, we focus on what we can control, our actions and responses. You can't control how your friend behaves, but you can control how you choose to react and whom you allow in your inner circle. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and a crucial step in maintaining your inner peace. So be self-aware, set those boundaries, and don't be afraid to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. Your well-being comes first. Loneliness and Stoicism. Coping strategies. Let's talk about loneliness, because we've all been there at some point, right? Whether it's feeling like you're the only one without plans on a Friday night or scrolling through social media and seeing everyone else living their best lives, loneliness can hit hard. But here's the thing. Stoicism has some real wisdom when it comes to coping with those lonely vibes. Instead of wallowing in self-pity or seeking validation from others, Stoicism teaches us to find contentment within ourselves. Happiness isn't something we find in other people or things. It's something we cultivate from within. First off, it's all about shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing loneliness as a curse, Try seeing it as an opportunity to really get to know yourself, to dive deep into your thoughts and feelings, and to grow as a person. Imagine you're going through a phase where you feel disconnected and lonely. Instead of focusing on the emptiness, you start to see this time as a chance to reflect on your life and your goal. You start journaling about your dreams and fears, and you realize there are things you want to accomplish that you've never given yourself the chance to explore. This shift in perspective turns loneliness into a productive and enlightening experience. Next up, it's time to practice some Stoic techniques for finding inner peace. That could mean things like journaling, meditation, or simply taking some time to be alone with your thoughts. For example, you might start your day with a few minutes of meditation, focusing on your breath and grounding yourself in the present moment. This practice helps you feel more centered and less dependent on external validation. It's about learning to be okay with being alone, to find joy in solitude, and to appreciate the beauty of your own company. And finally, remember that you're never truly alone, because Stoicism teaches us that we're all connected, part of something bigger than ourselves. Even when you're feeling isolated, remember that there are others out there who feel the same way. By embracing your own company and finding peace within yourself, you're connecting to the shared human experience. We've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding true friendship to embracing solitude and even knowing when to let go of unhealthy relationships. Stoic philosophy gives us some pretty awesome tools to navigate all these different aspects of friendship. To sum it up, true friendship is about quality over quantity. It's about finding those genuine connections that lift you up and help you grow. And hey, it's totally okay to have no friends sometimes. Solitude can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and personal growth. When it comes to weird or toxic friendships, don't be afraid to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. Remember, wisdom, courage, and temperance are the virtues that guide us in forming and maintaining meaningful relationships. Now it's your turn. Take a moment to reflect on your own friendships. Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Consider adopting some Stoic principles to help you navigate your relationships with more clarity and peace of mind. Whether it's embracing solitude, letting go of toxic friends, or deepening your connections with the real ones, Stoicism has got your back. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic-inspired content. Let's keep this conversation going and continue to grow together on this journey of self-improvement and meaningful signs. You're dealing with an evil person. It's a harsh reality, but some people in our lives take pleasure in causing harm and chaos. Think about it. You could be sharing moments, trusting someone, only to discover they are the very source of your turmoil. Today, we dive deep into a topic that's as fascinating as it is frightening: recognizing the signs you're dealing with an evil person. Whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a family member, these individuals can be masters of deception, hiding their true nature behind charm and charisma. Today, we're not just exploring this dark side of human behavior out of curiosity. Understanding these signs can be life-changing. The Stoics believed in the power of perception and the importance of living a life guided by reason and virtue. By identifying and understanding these toxic traits, we can protect our peace of mind and cultivate healthier relationships, staying true to the Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control. Stay with us as we uncover 5 telltale signs of an evil person. By the end of this video, you'll not only be better equipped to spot these behaviors, but also learn practical ways to safeguard your mental health and well-being. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. And please don't skip any part of the video. You won't want to miss our special bonus section, where I'll share an effective strategy for setting firm boundaries with these individuals. Let's embark on this journey of self-awareness and resilience together. Sign 1. Charm and charisma. When we talk about people who seem charming and charismatic at first, it's important to remember that appearances can be deceiving. These individuals often have a way of lighting up a room, making everyone around them feel special and valued. They know exactly what to say to make you feel like you've just made a new best friend. At first glance, they seem like the perfect person, witty, engaging, and seemingly interested in your life. It's easy to get swept up in their charm, thinking you found someone truly special. However, the Stoics teach us to look beyond the surface and seek the truth through through rational thought and observation. Over time, you might start to notice little cracks in their facade. Maybe they always need to be the center of attention, overshadowing others in social settings. They might talk over you, interrupt you, or even subtly put you down in front of others. These aren't just quirks or signs of an extroverted personality. They're red flags. The Stoics would advise us to observe these behaviors with a clear mind, unclouded by the initial excitement of their charisma. Imagine being at a party where this person is the life of the event, telling jokes and captivating the crowd. At first, it feels great to be in their orbit, but as the evening progresses, you realize they're dominating every conversation, making everything about themselves. When you try to share something about your life, they quickly redirect the topic back to them. This is where the Stoic principle of apatheia, a state of being undisturbed by external things, comes in handy. By staying emotionally balanced, you can see through their charming act and recognize the self-centered nature underneath. It's also crucial to pay attention to how they react when things don't go their way. A person who is genuinely kind and caring will handle disappointments and disagreements with grace and understanding. But someone who is merely playing a role to gain your trust might quickly become angry or defensive. They might lash out or try to manipulate the situation to regain control. According to Stoic wisdom, such reactions are clear indicators of a lack of virtuous character. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to be wary of those who display signs of anger and manipulation, as these are not the traits of a rational and virtuous person. The key here is to take your time and trust your instincts. The Stoics believed in the power of observation and the importance of not rushing to judgment based on first impressions. Epictetus taught that we should carefully evaluate the character of those we allow into our inner circle. So if someone seems too good to be true, give yourself the space to observe their actions over time. Notice how they treat others, especially when they think no one is watching. True character is revealed in how a person behaves when they aren't trying to impress anyone. Remember, not everyone who seems charming and charismatic has good intentions. Some people use their charm as a tool for manipulation. By staying grounded and mindful, you can protect yourself from being taken in by a superficial facade. Stay true to the Stoic principles of wisdom and discernment, and you'll be better equipped to navigate these complex social interactions. Sign 2. Lack of empathy. Another crucial sign to watch out for is a lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what allows us to connect deeply with those around us, to offer support when it's needed, and to create meaningful relationships. However, there are individuals out there who seem to completely lack this essential human trait. They don't care about how their actions or words affect others, and this can have a devastating impact on those around them. The Stoics believed in the importance of compassion and understanding as fundamental virtues. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the interconnectedness of humanity and the need to consider the well-being of others as part of our own well-being. So, when we encounter someone who shows a blatant disregard for the feelings of others, it's a serious red flag. Imagine you're sharing something deeply personal with a friend, hoping for some comfort or understanding. Instead of showing any genuine concern, they brush off your feelings or even mock your vulnerability. This lack of empathy can make you feel isolated and misunderstood. It's not just about them not being there for you in tough times. It's also about them failing to share in your joy or celebrate your successes. A person who lacks empathy won't cheer for your achievements. They might even undermine them or take credit themselves. This behavior is not just limited to personal relationship. Consider a boss who pushes their employees to the brink, showing no concern for their well-being. They might demand long hours without fair compensation, ignore requests for time off, or publicly criticize employees in a way that's meant to humiliate rather than constructively guide. This creates a toxic work environment where people feel undervalued and stressed. The Stoics would advise us to maintain our inner peace and integrity in such situations, recognizing that the lack of empathy in others is a reflection of their character. not ours. Furthermore, a lack of empathy can lead to more sinister behaviors. People who cannot empathize with others may engage in actions that are outright cruel or without any sense of guilt or remorse. They might lie, cheat, or even inflict physical harm without a second thought about the pain they're causing. The Stoic philosopher Seneca emphasized the importance of kindness and justice, teaching that our actions should always reflect our inner virtue. When someone lacks empathy, they're fundamentally disconnected from these values. A lack of empathy is also evident in smaller, everyday interactions. For example, you might notice that someone constantly interrupts conversations to talk about themselves, shows little interest in what others have to say, or fails to offer help when it's clearly needed. These might seem like minor annoyances at first, but they add up to a pattern of behavior that reveals a deeper issue. The Stoics would remind us to be observant and discerning, understanding that these small signs are indicative of a person's true character. If you find yourself dealing with someone who consistently lacks empathy, it's important to set boundaries to protect your own mental and emotional health. The Stoics believed in the importance of maintaining our own well-being and not allowing the negativity of others to disturb our peace. You have the right to distance yourself from those who drain your energy and bring you down. Sign 3. Manipulation. Another major sign of an evil person is manipulation. Manipulation is when someone uses deceit or cunning tactics to control or influence others to get what they want. It's a subtle, often insidious behavior that can be incredibly damaging to those on the receiving end. Manipulators are skilled at twisting situations, making you question your reality and bending your will to suit their needs. This can leave you feeling confused, powerless, and unsure of your own judgments. Let's think about manipulation from a Stoic perspective. The Stoics valued clarity of thought and the ability to see things as they truly are. They taught that our perceptions should be grounded in reality and that we should remain steadfast in our principles, no matter the external pressures. When someone manipulates you, they are attempting to cloud your perception and distort reality, making it difficult for you to stay true to these Stoic ideals. A common form of manipulation is gaslighting, where the manipulator tries to make you doubt your own memory, perception, or sanity. They might deny that certain events happened or twist your words and actions to make you feel at fault. For example, let's say you confront a friend about something hurtful they said. Instead of acknowledging it, they might turn the tables, accusing you of being overly sensitive or misremembering the situation. This can erode your confidence and make you reliant on the manipulator's version of reality. Manipulators are also adept at playing the victim. They might guilt trip you into doing things you don't want to do by making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. You might have a friend who constantly complains about their problems, expecting you to drop everything to help them, yet they are never there for you in return. They might say things like, "If you were really my friend, you'd do this for me," making you feel obligated to comply. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, emphasize the importance of understanding what is within our control and what is not. We cannot control others' actions or emotions, only our response to them. Consider how a manipulator might use flattery or charm to get their way. At first, this can feel great. They might shower you with compliments and make you feel special. But over time, you might notice that their praise comes with strings attached. They might compliment you when they want something from you or when they need you to do something for them. This can make you feel like you owe them or that you need to live up to their expectations to maintain their approval. The Stoics would remind us that true virtue and self-worth come from within, not from the fleeting approval of others. Manipulation can also take the form of isolation. A manipulative person might try to cut you off from your friends and family, making you more dependent on them. They might say things like, "Your friends don't really care about you," or "Your family doesn't understand you like I do." This tactic makes it easier for them to control you because you become more reliant on them for support and validation. The Stoics believed in maintaining strong, supportive relationships with others, recognizing that we are social beings who thrive in community. Isolation goes against these principles, as it weakens our support network and makes us more vulnerable to manipulation. Financial manipulation is another tactic used by evil people. They might borrow money and never repay it, or they might control your finances to limit your independence. For instance, a partner might insist on managing all the money in the relationship, making you ask for permission to spend anything. This control over finances can make it difficult for you to leave the relationship or assert your independence. The Stoics would encourage us to seek self-sufficiency and independence, ensuring that we are not unduly influenced or controlled by others. Recognizing manipulation for what it is can be challenging, especially when you care about the person involved. The Stoics teach us to be vigilant and discerning, to see things clearly and to act with integrity. If you suspect someone is manipulating you, take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Are they consistently prioritizing their needs over yours? Do they make you feel guilty or unsure of yourself? Are they trying to control aspects of your life or isolate you from others? It's important to set firm boundaries with manipulators and stand your ground. Communicate clearly and assertively about what you will and will not tolerate. Remember, you have the right to your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot control how others behave, we can control how we respond. By maintaining our inner strength and clarity, we can protect ourselves from the harmful effects of manipulation and stay true to our values. Sign 4. Controlling behavior. One of the most glaring signs of an evil person is controlling behavior. This goes beyond mere preferences or quirks. It's about someone who seeks to dominate every aspect of your life, leaving little room for your own autonomy and decisions. Controlling individuals often disguise their behavior as concern or care, but underneath, it's about power and control. The Stoics, who valued personal freedom and self-control, would see this behavior as fundamentally opposed to living a virtuous life. Controlling behavior can manifest in many ways. For instance, you might have a friend who insists on always choosing where you go and what you do together. While it might seem harmless at first, over time, you start to realize that your preferences and opinions are consistently ignored or overwritten. They might say things like, "I know what's best for us," or "You'll have more fun if you just listen to me." This isn't about mutual decision-making. It's about one person exerting their will over another. In relationships, controlling behavior can become even more dangerous. A partner might monitor your whereabouts, demand constant updates on your activities, and even dictate who you can and cannot see. They might go through your phone, check your messages, or insist on knowing all your passwords. This kind of surveillance and micromanagement can make you feel trapped and anxious, constantly walking on eggshells to avoid conflict. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasized the importance of maintaining your own inner freedom and autonomy, regardless of external pressures. Control can also come in the form of financial manipulation. A controlling partner or family member might take charge of all financial decisions, doling out money as they see fit and keeping you financially dependent on them. They might say, "I handle the money because you're not good with finances," or "It's easier if I just take care of everything." This can strip you of your financial independence and make it difficult to leave the relationship or assert your own choices. The Stoics believed in self-sufficiency and managing your own resources wisely, viewing financial control as a form of enslavement that must be resisted. Another way controlling behavior shows up is through isolation. A controlling person might try to cut you off from friends and family, claiming that they're the only one who truly understands or cares about you. They might criticize your loved ones, saying things like, "Your friends don't really care about you," or "Your family is toxic." Over time, you might find yourself increasingly isolated, relying solely on the controlling person for support and companionship. The Stoics recognize the importance of community and supportive relationships, seeing isolation as detrimental to both personal growth and well-being. Controlling individuals also often use threats and intimidation to maintain their power. They might threaten to leave you, harm themselves, or even hurt you if you don't comply with their demands. This creates an environment of fear and anxiety, making it difficult to think clearly or make decisions that are best for you. The Stoics, especially Seneca, taught that we should face our fears and not allow others to intimidate us into submission. True courage and wisdom lie in standing firm against such threats and reclaiming our own power. It's important to understand that controlling behavior is about more than just wanting things done a certain way. It's about fundamentally undermining your ability to make your own choices and live your own life. The Stoics would advise us to recognize these behaviors for what they are, an attack on our autonomy and a violation of our personal freedom. By staying true to our values and maintaining our inner strength, we can resist the influence of controlling individuals and reclaim our right to live freely. If you find yourself dealing with someone who exhibits controlling behavior, it's crucial to set firm boundaries and assert your independence. Communicate clearly about your needs and limits, and don't be afraid to seek support from others who understand your situation. Remember, the Stoics teach us that we cannot control others, but we can control our own reactions and decisions. By staying grounded in our principles and valuing our own autonomy, we can protect ourselves from the harmful effects of controlling behavior and live more authentic, fulfilling lives. Sign 5. Pathological lying. Another unmistakable sign of an evil person is pathological lying. This goes beyond the occasional white lie that most people tell. Pathological liars deceive constantly, often without any apparent reason. They fabricate stories, manipulate facts, and distort reality to suit their own needs or to gain an advantage over others. This behavior can be incredibly damaging to relationships, eroding trust and creating a web of deceit that's difficult to untangle. The Stoics valued truth and integrity above all else. They believed that a virtuous life was grounded in honesty, and that deceit was a fundamental betrayal of one's character. Marcus Aurelius emphasized living in accordance with nature, which means aligning our actions with truth and reason. When someone lies pathologically, they are living in direct opposition to these principles, creating a false reality that benefits only themselves. Pathological lying can take many forms. It might start with small, seemingly harmless lies, like embellishing a story to make themselves look better or more interesting. Over time, these lies can escalate, covering up mistakes or wrongdoings and manipulating others to achieve their goals. A pathological liar might claim to have accomplished things they haven't, falsely take credit for others' work, or make up stories about their past to gain sympathy or admiration. This constant dishonesty creates a distorted view of reality where you can never be sure what's true and what's fabricated. Setting boundaries. When it comes to setting boundaries, clarity is key. You need to be specific about what behaviors you will not tolerate and communicate this clearly and assertively. For example, if you have a friend who frequently belittles you or puts you down, you might say, "I appreciate our friendship, but I won't tolerate being spoken to in a disrespectful manner. If this continues, I will have to distance myself." This approach is direct and leaves no room for misinterpretation. According to Stoic principles, this kind of clear communication helps maintain order and respect in relationships. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is consistency. It's not enough to state your boundaries once and expect others to adhere to them without reminders. You must consistently enforce your boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, emphasize the importance of discipline and perseverance. By consistently upholding your boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect and teach others how to treat you. If someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, it's a clear sign that they do not respect you or your limits, and it may be necessary to reassess the relationship. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. As relationships evolve, your boundaries may need to be adjusted. For instance, in a work environment, you might need to set boundaries around your availability and workload to prevent burnout. You could say to a colleague or supervisor, "I am happy to help with this project, but I cannot take on additional tasks beyond my current responsibilities." The Stoics would advise us to balance our duties and not overextend ourselves to the detriment of our well-being. Remember that setting boundaries is a form of self-respect and self-love. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to allow others to diminish it. The Stoics teach us that our worth is not determined by external factors, but by our own actions and integrity. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you are living in accordance with these principles and fostering a life of peace, virtue, and resilience. Remember, your peace and integrity are worth protecting, no matter who tries to undermine them. Setting boundaries is not just a defense mechanism. It's a declaration of your self-worth and commitment to living a virtuous life. Thank you for joining me today and being a part of Stoic Journal. If you found this helpful, make sure to check out one of the suggested videos on the screen for more insights. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep living your truth.